Hey guys, so as the only person who commented on the hint video I posted the other day, kind of, he was close when he guessed it, but not exactly accurate. His comment, he said Thor, but it's not exactly right. If you haven't seen the hint video, that's okay, go watch that first. Okay, everyone who's seen that but hasn't seen this yet, good. So today I'm going to be reading some of the tales of Norse mythology. Also, look at this, it stands on its own. It's amazing, I love it. So I'm going to read a few of them, and then from there on out, you guys are going to comment which stories you want me to read. So, hold on. That was, pretty much all of the stories in this book. If you couldn't see that, then I'll still, record with the rear camera. Instead of using my selfie camera, which is what I normally use for most of my videos. That's why everything's mirrored. So I think we'll start with Freya. See, after this, you guys will decide where we do and don't start. Here we are. Freya, the goddess of love. Freya, the fair Northern goddess of beauty and love, was the sister of Freyr and the daughter of Njord, and Nerthus or Skadi. She was the most beautiful and beloved goddess. While in Germany she was identified with Frigga, in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland she was also considered a separate divinity. Freya, having been born in Vanaheim, also known as Vanadis, the goddess of Vanas, or Vana Bride. It's raining really loud. When she reached Asgard, the gods were so charmed by her beauty and grace that they bestowed upon her the realm of Folkvang, in the great hall Sessrumi, the roomy seated, where they assured her she would easily accommodate all of her guests. Although the goddess of love, Freya was not soft, impressionable, loving, or for the ancient northern races, believed that she had a very martial case, and that as Valkyr, as she often led the Valkyries down the battlefields, choosing and claiming half of the heroes slain. And she was therefore often represented with corset, helm, shield, and spear, the lower part of her body only being clad in usual flowing and feminine garb. Freya transported the chosen slain to Volfang, or Valhalla, where they were faithful, where they were cruelly entertained. There she also welcomed all pure maidens and faithful wives, that they might enjoy the companies of their lovers and husbands after death. The joys of their abode were so enticing to the heroic northern women that they often rushed into battle when their loved ones were slain, hoping to meet the same fate, or they fell upon their swords, or were voluntarily burned on the same funeral pyre as the remains of their beloved. As Freya was believed to lend a favorable ear to lovers' praise, she was often invoked by them, and it was customary to compose her in her honor love songs, which were sung on all festive occasions. Her name in Germany being used as the verb to woo. Freya, the golden-haired, blue-eyed goddess, was also considered as personification of the earth, as she married Odin, a symbol of the summer sun, whom she dearly loved, and whom she had two daughters, Holnos and Drusilla. These maidens were so beautiful that all things lovely and precious were called by their names. While Odin lingered contentedly at their side, Freya was smiling, perfectly happy, but alas, the god was a rover at heart. Wearying of his wife's company, he suddenly left home and wandered far out into the wide world. But Freya, sad and forsaken, wept abundantly, and her tears fell upon the hard rocks which softened at their contact. We were even told that they trickled down to the very center of the stones, where they transformed into gold. Some tears fell to the sea and were changed to translucent amber. Weary of her widowed condition, longing to clasp her beloved in her arms once more, Freya finally started in search of him, passing many lands. She became known as many different things: model, horn, giffen, I don't know how to pronounce these, seer, skiel, and throne, inquiring all who she met whether her husband had passed that way, and shedding everywhere so many tears that gold is found in all parts of the earth. Far away in the sunny south, under the flowing myrtle trees, Freya found Odin at last. Her love being restored to her, she was happy and smiling once again, as radiant as a bride. Perhaps because Freya found her husband beneath the flowering myrtle that northern brides to this day wear myrtle in reference to the conventional orange wreath of other climes. Hand in hand, Odin and Freya gently wended their way home once more, and in the light of their happiness the grass grew green, flowers bloomed, the birds sang, for all nature sympathized as heartily as Freya's joy, as it had mourned with her when she was in sorrow. The prettiest of the plants and flowers in the north were called Freya's hair or Freya's ideal, while the butterfly was called Freya's hen. This goddess, who was also supposed to have a special affection for the fairies, whom she loved to watch dancing in moonbeams, and for whom she reserved the daintiest flowers, and sweetest of honey. Although Freya's husband, besides being considered a personification of the sun, was also regarded as an emblem of passion, or of the intoxicating pleasures of love. So the ancients declared that it was no wonder his wife could not be happy without him. Being the goddess of beauty, Freya was naturally very fond of the toilette, of glittering adornments and precious jewels. One day, while she was in Svartalfheim, in the underground kingdom, she saw 4 dwarves fashioning the most wonderful necklace she had ever seen. Almost beside herself, with no longing to possess this treasure, which was called the Singen, and then, with the emblem of stars and the fruitfulness of the earth, Freya implored the dwarves to give it to her, but they absolutely refused to do so unless she would promise to grant them a favor. Having secured the necklace's prize, Freya hastened to put it on, and its beauty so enchanted her charms so enhanced her charms that she wore it night and day. Only occasionally would she be persuaded to lend it to the other divinities. Thor, however, wore this necklace when he impersonated Freya in Jotunheim, and Loki converted and would have stolen it if it had not been for the watchfulness of Heimdall. Freya was also the proud possessor of a falcon garb, or falcon plumes, which enabled the wearer to float through the air as a bird. And this garment was so invaluable that it was twice borrowed by Loki, and was used by Freya herself when she went in search of the missing Odin? I don't know. As Freya was considered the goddess of fruitfulness, she was sometimes represented as riding about with her brother Frey in the chariot drawn by golden bristled boar, scattering with lavish hands fruits and flowers to garden the hearts of mankind. She had a chariot of her own, however, in which she generally traveled. This was drawn by cats, her favorite of the animals. The emblems of caressing fondness and sensuality, or the personification of fecundity. I don't know. Fecundity? I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce that word. Frey and Freya were held in such high honor throughout the North that their names in modified forms are used as master and mistress. And one day of the week is called Freya's Day, or Friday, by the English-speaking race. Freya's temples were very numerous indeed, and long maintained by her votaries in the West in Magdeburg, Germany, being destroyed by the order of Charlemagne. The northern people were wont to invoke Freya, and not only for success, love, prosperity, and increase, but also at times for aid and protection. This she vouchsafed to all who served her truly. As appeared in the story of Otar and Angantyr, two men who, after disputing for some time concerning their rights to a certain piece of property, laid their quarrel before the Thing. That popular assembly decreed that the man who could prove he had the longest line of noble ancestors should be declared the winner, and a special day was appointed to investigate the genealogy of each claimant. Otar, unable to remember the names of more than a few of his progenitors, offered sacrifices to Freya, entreating her aid. The goddess graciously heard his prayer, and appearing before him, she changed him into a boar and rode off upon his back to the dwelling sorcerer Heimdall, a most renowned witch, by threats and entreaties, compelled the old woman to trace Otar's genealogy back to Odin, and in the name of every individual in turn, with a synopsis of his achievement. Since then, fearing lest her votary's memory should be unable to retain so many details, Freya further compelled Heimdall to brew a potion of remembrance, which she gave him to drink. Thus prepared, Otar presented himself before the Thing on the appointed day, and glibly reciting his pedigree, he named so many more ancestors than Angantyr could recollect, that he was easily awarded possession of the property he coveted. The husbands of Freya. Freya was so beautiful that all the gods, giants, dwarves longed for her love, and in turn tried to secure her as wife. But Freya scorned into the ugly giants, refused even Thrym, who urged to accept him by Loki and Thor. She was not so elder where the gods themselves were concerned. If the various mythologists are believed, by the personification of the earth, she is said to have wedded Odin in the sky, Frey for rain, Odor the sunshine, etc. Until it seems as if she had deserved the accusation of hurled against her by the archfiend Loki, having loved and wedded all the gods in turn. Loki? You good? Here we're getting into the worship of Red. It was customary on solemn occasions to drink Freya's health with that of the other gods, and when Christianity was introduced in the north, this toast was transferred to the Virgin or to Saint Gertrude. Freya herself, like all heathen divinities, was declared a demon or witch, and was banished to the mountain peaks of Norway, Sweden, or Germany, where the broken is pointed out as her special abode. In general, trusting place of her demon train on Valpurgisnacht. I have no idea. As the swallow, cuckoo, and cat were held sacred to Freya in heathen times, these creatures were also supposed to have demonical attributes. And to this day, witches are always depicted with coal black cats beside them. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a break from reading right now, and just because I wasn't expecting one story to take almost 10 minutes on its own. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start editing some videos, and then I'm gonna edit some more, and then I'm gonna come back to reading. So I realized I said one story took almost 10 minutes. No, it was 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to end the video right here, and yeah, that'll be all for today. Bye guys.